Hello, this is Danny Ceballos with Unleashed Consulting and the Best Boss Bootcamp Minute. Today's Dear Danny letter comes from Overwhelmed in Oakland. So Overwhelmed says, how do you establish trust with your subordinates when the previous manager eroded trust and now everyone is standoffish and obviously unwilling to trust? Such a good question, Overwhelmed. So we got a great guideline in, again, one of my favorite quotes around leadership and management. It comes from Pree. So write this down, quote, "The first job of a leader is to define reality, period. The last is to say thank you, period. And in between to be both a debtor and a servant," debtor being D-E-B-T-O-R, and a servant, period. End of quote. So why I love this and why I'm sharing this with you is because it actually breaks down the three components that you really want to concentrate on as you're working to build broken trust. So the first thing is understand that it will take time. You know this already, but I just want to remind you, and that's not only what grandma says, that these things take time, but we also know from a systems theory perspective that when we're trying to move a system to a new place and your team is a system, that there is a gap in time. So the second piece is the first job of a leader is to find reality. So in growing trust, especially with folks that have been traumatized, and in fact, they were traumatized, first gather everyone to acknowledge the reality, for you to spell it out, to speak to what happened and where you are now. Be direct and honest, no blame, just the facts. And the second piece is spell out what you are going to do to start building trust. Be as specific and clear as you can with your promises and your commitments. And in fact, speak to what you will do differently. How will you communicate with the team? What activities will you do? What are your expectations? Again, we're defining reality, but we're starting to say also what we will do in order to be a debtor and a servant. This is what you can expect from me, but be as clear as you can. And what you're doing is you're actually setting your own accountability. So the third piece is make sure you do what you say you will do. Show folks that they can trust you, and always be honest and forthcoming. Remember, that's the first job, is to be honest and forthcoming and defining reality. But really stay with that place of DWSWYD. Do what you will say you will do. And give this a good, it depends on how big your team is and a number of different factors, but we generally find for within the first year, you can expect that. And yes, I know it does take a while, but to stay with those three things. The first job of a leader, keep defining reality. Second is to say thank you, and in between to be a debtor and a servant, right? So take all three of those components, but always remember to start off with defining reality. All right, I hope that helps. Be patient. Remember, folks are coming from a place of trauma. They'll go through their own stages of moving through that until they are able to trust you, but stick with those three pieces. All right, thank you so much, Overwhelmed. I hope that helps. And everybody else, we will see you soon on the next Best Boss Bootcamp Minute. This is Danny Ceballos with Unleashed Consulting. Thanks for stopping in here.